2023 might well be remembered as the year when a set of narratives propagated by Western democracy have collapsed. We were told that inflation would have been temporary, that Ukraine would have won against Russia, and that the latter would have been weakened under Western sanctions since summer 2022. Now it's Germany, Europe's major economic power, that is ravaged by protests over economic problems related to these very sanctions. For these reasons, far-right political forces are on the rise everywhere in the whole continent. The mantra that China is in decline is repeated incessantly. However, Beijing, US sanctions notwithstanding, is in fact closing the tech gap on electronic chips. Global West is boasting its biased, rules-based global order, but the rest of the world is rallying around an alternative one, inspired by the BRICS. With 5 new members, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, United Arab Emirates and Iran, the enlarged BRICS now control over 40% of world oil output, not to mention the critical raw materials for the energy transition. And they are slowly de-dollarizing their economies with possible massive implications. In such a volatile landscape, once again, the Middle East has surprised everybody by confirming the famous motto, "You can neglect the Middle East, but rest assured that the Middle East won't neglect you." Before October 7 last year, US top officials claimed that the Middle East was quiet and that the major deal between Israel and Saudi Arabia was imminent. The area now is on the brink of a major regional conflict, which, in addition to Israel and Gaza, could involve Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and the Red Sea. Ukraine is now neglected. It is desperately trying to keep the West's attention while its capabilities to sustain the conflict with Russia are collapsing. Israel is instead betting that it will be allowed to destroy Gaza and its population and to forcibly transfer those who will be lucky enough to survive. The ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians from Gaza, the 21st century Nakba, dreamed by Israeli racist far-right political parties, is turning into a reality. The US and the EU are shamefully and unforgivably watching and even complicit these acts of sheer horror coming out of Gaza on an hourly basis. While common sense suggests a call for a ceasefire, there are those who work for an escalation. During the past weeks, senior Hamas and Hezbollah operatives have been killed in Lebanon, and Iran's Revolutionary Guard commander has been killed in Syria, and a bloody terrorist attack took place in Iran. Now all eyes are on Hezbollah in Lebanon, wondering whether or not it will respond to Israel's provocations. The Lebanese movement has frequently shown the so-called strategic patience. Its mobilization on the Israeli-Lebanese border has so far effectively pinned many Israeli troops that could have been used in Gaza. Prime Minister Netanyahu is seeking to expand the conflict, as this is the only way to delay as much as possible the day of reckoning awaiting him and other Israeli officials after the October 7 disaster. So, Hezbollah must carefully calculate the next move, respond to Israel's provocation, hence provide Netanyahu with a pretext to remain in power, or all on its current strategic patience. The situation is so volatile that it could even prevail over the best intention. The US is so unreliable, the Europe is so irrelevant, that everything could easily collapse like a domino. On the eve of the First World War, every European power was not searching for a major conflict, but hard realities on the ground prevail. Fatal miscalculations are always around the corner. This war could have been prevented by fulfilling Palestinian legitimate rights. It's time to stop this war.